Can you hear me? Hi, happy morning. First of all, you guys keep asking PDF of current affairs. I request you again and again to please go to ICSI website. There you will find this current affairs on CSET. Just CSET current affairs syllabus. It will appear. You guys keep asking for the PDF and all. It's there on the website. Everything is there. Don't worry. Good morning. Hi Aditi. Hello. So, shall we start? Where were we? Pleasant morning, very pleasant morning. There's some problem. So, we were on current updates on environment, biodiversity, climate change, and sustainable development. Please come to page number 81 of your syllabus, of current affairs syllabus. Questions will majorly come from this book only, this syllabus only, but you guys, you have to keep yourself updated on daily basis. It's a request. It's current affairs subject, not any other subject which you will read from the book, and that is sufficient. You read this book, and keep yourself updated on day-to-day basis from the news channels. From you please watch Beyond channel. That is also, that gives you the affair, things happening around the world. Beyond channel, it's of Z, or you can watch BBC. You can read the newspapers also. Please do watch 9 to 9:30 prime time news. If you can watch Z, DNA, that's very nice. It's very, very informative. Come to page number 81. That is current affairs, current updates on environment, biodiversity, climate change, and sustainable development. Have you opened the page? Have you opened the page? Yes. Okay, good. Now, first is Bhutan introduced sustainable development fee for regional tourists. Page number 81. Current updates on environment, biodiversity, climate change, sustainable development. Yeah. It's is it okay now? Bhutan introduced sustainable development fee for regional tourists. You know, Bhutan, it is the world's greenest country. Do you know that? Bhutan is world's greenest country. It's a Himalayan nation, and it has 70% forest coverage. No, Bhutan is covered 70% covered with forests. So it's considered to be, it is the world's greenest country. So what Bhutan has done, the tourists, they when they go there, they disturb the ecology of Bhutan. So to save that, to protect that, what Bhutan has done, that tourists coming from India, Maldives, and Bangladesh, they will have to pay certain amount as sustainable development fee to Bhutan, and they have to pay 1200 Bhutanese currency per day. For the total number of days they stay there, they will have to pay 1200 Bhutanese currency per day as sustainable development fee. It is tourists coming from India, Maldives, and Bangladesh. They have to pay sustainable development fee for the protection of their ecology. When tourists go there, they disturb the ecology system of Bhutan. Okay. Second is Supreme Court allowed relocation of African cheetah in India. Page number 81, please. Current updates. I will not repeat after this. Coming from other countries, they are also paying, but from now, this is from July 2020, they have imposed a fee on India, tourists coming from India, Maldives and Bangladesh also from July 2020. This July 2020, they have imposed 1200 per day as sustainable development fee for tourists coming from India, Bangladesh and Maldives also. This year, July 2020. Second is Supreme Court allowed relocation of African cheetah to India. You know this Indian cheetah that is deemed extinct. Extinct, you understand? Page number 81. Page number 81. I will not repeat now. Page number 81. Indian cheetah is deemed extinct, so Supreme Court on a petition filed by National Tiger Conservation Authority NTCA. Supreme Court on a petition filed by National Tiger Conservation Authority, it allowed introduction of African cheetah to Kuno National Park, Madhya Pradesh. It is coming from Namibia. So, in January 28, 2020, Supreme Court allowed introduction of African cheetah in Kuno National Park, Madhya Pradesh, since Indian cheetah deemed extinct. Okay. Next is World Ozone Day. You know what ozone layer is? You know what ozone layer is? Anybody? Yes, what is that? Ozone layer. It's a layer which absorbs most of the ultraviolet radiations reaching the earth from sun. Yes. Ozone layer is a layer which absorbs most of the ultraviolet radiations reaching the earth from sun. They are UV rays, ozone layer. So World Ozone Day 2019. World Ozone Day is also known as International Day for the Preservation of Ozone Layer. World Ozone Day, it is celebrated on 16 September annually every year. It is known as International Day for the Preservation of Ozone Layer. What is ozone layer? The layer which absorbs most of UV rays, ultraviolet radiations reaching the earth from sun. So since this layer is depleting, it's getting thinner day by day because of the global warming. So this day is celebrated every year on September 16th. This is with uh, this is to remember the Montreal Protocol on substances that deplete ozone layer. Montreal Protocol. What was Montreal Protocol? It was international agreement or treaty to protect ozone layer. Montreal Protocol was international treaty or international agreement to protect ozone layer. So every year, September 16th, it is to remember the Montreal Protocol. This day is celebrated as World Ozone Day. The 2019 World Ozone Day theme was 30 years and healing. You have to remember what was the theme of World Ozone Day 2019. It was 32 years and healing. What was the aim of celebrating this? The aim was to increase awareness of climate change and ozone depletion. The aim was to create or increase awareness about climate change and ozone layer depletion. So please remember the date. Every year 2016, September 16, every year it is celebrated, World Ozone Day is celebrated to remember Montreal Protocol. What was Montreal Protocol? It was an international treaty or agreement between the countries to protect ozone layer, right? Next is Swachhata Hi Seva 2019. Swachhata Hi Seva. Everybody must be knowing. Everybody must be knowing this Swachhata, this drive or initiative. It was brought by Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi. The first word he brought after he sweared in as Prime Minister in 2014, Clean India. Swachhata Abhiyan. He started the Swachhata drive or initiative. So Swachhata Hi Seva 2019, it was launched by, this was the drive he launched. It was launched by Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi at Mathura on September 11, 2019. Okay. Swachhata Hi Seva drive was launched by Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi at Mathura on September 11, 2019. The theme was Plastic Waste Awareness and Management. Swachhata Hi Seva drive was started or launched in Mathura in 2019 September. The theme was Plastic Waste Awareness and Management. Okay, you just have to remember these important points. Do not go through each and every line. Just take out the important dates, the drive, the theme, and by whom it was initiated. Right? They are the important points for you. Next is ban on single-use plastic. Again, this drive was initiated by the Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi, that India has imposed a nationwide ban on single-use plastic on October 2019 on the occasion of 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. India has imposed a nationwide ban on single-use plastic. This again concept was brought by Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi on 150th anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. There is a nationwide ban on single-use plastic. What do you mean by single-use plastic? Please come to page number 82. What do you mean by single-use plastic? The plastic which cannot be recycled. Plastic which cannot be recycled, that is called single-use plastic. Just like for plastic bags, straws, cups, plates, small bottles, certain type of sachets, they come under this single-use plastic. So why this was initiated? To make India free of single-use plastic by 2022. What was the aim? The next aim or the goal of Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi is to make India free of single-use plastic by 2022. Why there was a ban on single-use plastic? To save environment. Everybody knows it has become a matter of cause, matter of worry for the world environment, for the climate. So it is important to ban the single-use plastic. It may cause harm to the climate. It is causing. Now to page number 83. NGT forms panel to examine illegal and sand mining in Yamuna River. NGT forms panel to examine illegal sand mining in the river. What is sand mining? What do you understand by sand mining? It is extraction of sand from the coastal areas or from the banks of the river. This has been declared as illegal. Sand mining has become illegal in India. So NGT is National Green Tribunal. Tribunal, that day I told you, tribunal means court. So National Green Tribunal or court, they have formed a committee to examine the allegations of illegal sand mining in Yamuna River. Okay, NGT has formed a panel to examine illegal sand mining in Yamuna River. Just have to remember this. Next is basic meeting on climate change. Now, what do you mean by basic? It's Brazil, four countries are there: Brazil, South Africa, India, and China. So, basic stand for Brazil, South Africa, India, and China. Basic countries. They held their 28th ministerial meeting on climate change in August 2019 in Sao Paulo, Brazil. 28th ministerial meeting on climate change was held in August 2019 in Brazil. These countries, what they did, they expressed their concern about climate change and its adverse effects. These countries, they had their 28th ministerial meeting in Brazil on climate change. What they discussed, they expressed their concern about climate change and its adverse effects. They urged the developed nations like US, Germany, France, Russia, etc. They urged developed nations to fulfill their climate finance commitments. They urged them, the developed nations, to fulfill their financial commitments. That was around $100 billion. To fulfill that commitment, okay, for developing nations. Now, page number 84, come to page number 84, the last line of this paragraph. It was also decided that China will host the next meeting of BASIC ministers. BASIC is Brazil, South Africa, India, and China. They had their 28th ministerial meeting in August 2019. There it was discussed. That it discussed they showed their concern about the climate change and its effects. They urged developed nations to contribute around $100 billion for developing nations so that they can also work towards climate change. You need money for everything. So it was also decided that China will host the next meeting of BASIC countries. Right? Page number 84. We are on page number 84. Next is launch of State Rooftop Solar Attractiveness Index. Launch of State Rooftop Solar Attractiveness Index. It is also called SARAL. So you have to remember the full form of SARAL, SARAL. You have to remember full form of SARAL. It's State Rooftop Solar Attractiveness Index. Who launched this SARAL? Please note down. Our Power Minister, Mr. R.K. Singh, he launched this scheme of SARAL. Project or scheme, SARAL, SARAL, it was launched by our Power Minister, Mr. R.K. Singh. So what is there? Ministry of State for Power and Renewable Energy and Skill Development, they launched the State Rooftop Solar Attractiveness Index, SARAL. Power Minister, Mr. R.K. Singh, he launched this project or scheme of SARAL. You have to remember the full form of SARAL. Who launched this? You know, on the rooftop, solar projects on rooftop. You must have seen solar panels on rooftops. So for attracting states to implement these projects, so that is why it is called attractiveness for rooftop solar. It is called Rooftop Solar Attractiveness Index. So states, they were given the targets to attract as many as solar rooftop projects. So in this process, Karnataka has been placed at the first rank in the index that evaluates Indian states based on their attractiveness for rooftop development. Karnataka, this is important point. First of all, the full form of SARAL, who launched this? Power Minister Mr. R.K. Singh. Stood first, who ranked first in this scheme? It was Karnataka state. Please remember that. May come. Which state ranked first in index for attractiveness of solar rooftop? It was the Karnataka state which was ranked first. After that, Telangana, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, they were at the second, third, and fourth positions. Okay, this is important for you. Yeah. Come to next. This is latest developments in science and technology, information technology, computers, and space science. On page number 84 itself, latest developments in science and technology, information technology, computers, and space science. First is RBI launches Money app to assist visually challenged to identify currency notes. Page number 84. RBI launches Money app to assist visually challenged to identify currency notes. RBI has launched mobile app Money, MANI, for whom? To assist visually challenged to identify currency notes. The denomination, to identify denominations of currency notes by visually challenged people, RBI has launched Money app, and it was launched by the RBI Governor Shaktikant Das on January 1, 2020. Okay. This is the thing you have to do. This is how you have to study. Just take out what the scheme is about, what it is name, who launched this, when it was launched. They are the important things. Do not go, don't read each and every line, just take out the important points. Reserve Bank of India has launched Money app for visually challenged people to identify denominations of currency notes. What is the denomination? Like this is 10 rupee note, this is 50 rupees. To identify this denomination, they have launched Money app. It's a mobile app for visually challenged. It was launched by Shrikant Das, the RBI governor, on January 1, 2020. Come to page number 85. Yes, Shaktikant Das. He is the RBI governor. Please remember the name of RBI governor also. Okay. All these. Let's go to the topic. All important things related to that. If you have to take out from Google, take from that. The information given here, you may not find enough. You go to the Google, check what is it all about. I am trying to give as much possible the information as I can give you. Aditya L1, ISRO's first solar mission. Aditya L1, ISRO's first solar mission. By the name itself, you can get it. It's first solar mission of ISRO. Aditya L1, you have to remember the name, Aditya L1, right? Now the Aditya L1 mission will be country's first solar mission. It is country's first solar mission. It will help scientists to study sun's corona. What will this mission do? It will help scientists to study sun's corona. It's not the corona which has spread, it has been spreaded throughout the world. It's not that corona. Corona, what do you mean by corona? It is the outermost part of sun's atmosphere. If you want to write, you can write. What is sun's corona? It its outermost part of Sun's atmosphere. So, to study Sun's corona, Aditya L1 mission will be undertaken by the end of 2020. This is planned to be launched by the end of 2020. There will be 6 scientific payloads on this 400 kg satellite. Now, how heavy, how much does it weigh? It is 400 kg satellite. This Aditya L1 is 400 kgs satellite. It will be where it will be placed. It will be placed in the halo orbit near L1 point of Sun Earth system. It will be placed in the halo orbit. What do you mean by orbit? Do you understand what orbit is? What is orbit? Orbit is curved path taken by a planet. Yes, curved path taken by a planet as it moves around another planet. So this Aditya L1 will be placed in the halo orbit near L1 point of Sun-Earth system. Aditya L1 can now provide observation of Sun's photosphere, chromosphere, and corona along with additional experiments. Right? So Aditya L1, it will be launched by the end of 2020. Aditya L1 is the first solar mission of ISRO. The satellite would weigh 400 kgs. It will be placed in the halo orbit near L1 point of Sun Earth system. It will give as much information as possible or observation of Sun's photosphere, chromospheres, and corona, along with additional experiments. Aditya L1, please remember, first solar mission of ISRO. Okay. Next is ISRO DRDO signed MOU to provide critical technologies for human space mission. Day of launch has not been given. It has been written there. It will be launched by the end of 2020. Now see, these all were planned before this corona had happened. Now what will happen after this? After March, when corona stepped into our country, everything has been changed. The whole scenario has been changed. Uh, I don't know whether these will be feasible or not. So let's see. Till date, it has been planned to be launched by the end of 2020. It may happen, may not happen. But you have to remember this, that what are the dates and what is the mission all about. It's Aditya L1. Next is ISRO DRDO sign MOU to provide critical technologies for human space mission. ISRO, you know, everybody knows it's what is ISRO? What does it stand for? Indian Space Research Organization, right? What is DRDO? It's Defense Research and Development Organization. Yes. ISRO and DRDO, they sign MOU. DRDO is, you can write, it's Defense Research and Development Organization. Yeah. MOU is Memorandum of Understanding. So, ISRO and DRDO have signed Memorandum of Agreement or Memorandum of Understanding. MOU is understanding to develop human-centric system for human space mission. What they have signed, the agreement they have signed is about to develop human-centric system. Now, what is human-centric system? They are the system that helps humans to search the physical world. Human-centric systems are the systems that helps or facilitate humans in search of physical world. That is human-centric system. So here DRDO would be providing critical technologies. DRDO, Defense Research and Development Organization. ISRO and DRDO, they have jointly signed a memorandum of understanding to develop human-centric system for human space mission. Human-centric system, I have told you, is a system that helps humans to search the physical world. What is human space mission or human space flight? That is, it's a flight of spacecraft that carries a crew or passengers. Human space mission, human space flight, it's a flight or spacecraft that carries crew or passengers. When humans would be there, when they would be able to go. That is human space mission, where humans will be the part of that mission. They'll go to the space. So they have signed an agreement or memorandum of understanding to develop human-centric system for human space mission to demonstrate ISRO's human space flight capability. Now, MOU was signed by the delegation of ISRO scientist Dr. S. Unnikrishnan Nair with DRDO labs to provide critical technologies. Now, what critical technologies are? Come to second paragraph, second line. DRDO will be providing critical technologies to ISRO such as space crew health monitoring and emergency survival kit. These are the critical technologies which DRDO would be providing to ISRO for its human space mission. Critical technologies would be provided by DRDO. What are critical technologies? They are space crew health monitoring and emergency survival kit, space food, parachutes for the crew modules safe recovery, and radiation measurement and protection. They are the critical technologies. Okay. So what you have to remember, ISRO, DRDO have signed memorandum of understanding for human space mission. DRDO would be providing, Defense Research and Development Organization would be providing critical technologies to ISRO for its human space mission. Right? Next is Chandrayaan-2 mission. Chandrayaan-2 mission, everybody must be knowing about it. Chandrayaan-2. Yes, what do you know about it? Chandrayaan-2. When it was launched. Page number 85. Chandrayaan-2 mission. It was launched on 22nd July 2019. You must be knowing. Yeah, the mission failed. Yes, very good. You know that. So it was a highly complex mission. It could not reach the destination because of some software glitch, which is fault. Everybody knows that. It just got crashed just 500 meters when it was 500 meters away from the destination. There occurred some software glitch. It could not reach there. Chandrayaan-2. What was it all about? What was the objective of Chandrayaan-2? It was to study all the it was to study the south pole of the moon. It was to explore south pole of the moon. That was Chandrayaan-2 mission, which got failed because of some software glitch. Okay. Next is Gaganyaan mission. Gaganyaan mission, ISRO aims to launch its first human space mission. Gaganyaan mission, which ISRO would be launching. This would be the first human space mission. It would be launching in 2022. They are planning to launch it in 2022 on the 75th anniversary of India's independence. It will carry 3 people and they'll go to orbit Earth for 7 days, and they'll come back after 7 days. The crew space mission is planned to be launched aboard ISRO's GSLV Mk3 in December 2021. Gaganyaan mission, it is expected to be launched in 2022. There would be 3 people. They would go to orbit Earth for 7 days. Okay, this is the first ever human space mission of ISRO, Gaganyaan mission. Next is first indigenous high temperature fuel cell launched. Indigenous means homemade. First high temperature fuel cell system which is indigenous or homemade, that was launched by the President Ram Nath Kovind. It was the first indigenous high-temperature fuel cell system developed by Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. Please remember, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR. Full form may be asked from you. Council of Science and Industrial Research. So first indigenous, that means homemade high-temperature fuel cell system was launched by Mr. Kovind. Next, we are come to page number 86. It is Digital Census 2021. You know what census is? What census is? It is the official counting of people living in a country. What census is? Yes, it is the official counting of population or people of a country. Yes. When it's being conducted? It's being conducted. Yes, it happens in every 10 years. Very good. Last time it was conducted in 2011, but then the earlier pen, paper, these things were used to do the census. Now the change is to promote Digital India 2021 census will be conducted through mobile phones. So there would be no pen, no paper. That would be transformed to a digital census in 2021. The change that is going to happen is this time it will be a digital census to 2021. Time it happened in 2011, is being conducted every 10 years. Census, the counting of population of people living in a country, that is being done every 10 years. Last time it was happened in 2011. Now this will be conducted in 2021, but this time it will be a digital census through a mobile app. Next is CHC Farm Machinery multilingual mobile app launched for farmers. CHC, it's Custom Hiring Services. CHC is Custom Hiring Centers. Custom Hiring Service Center is CHC. See, this was a revolution which was revolution brought in the field of agriculture. What is CHC? It's farm machinery, multilingual mobile app launched for farmers. Farm machinery, multilingual in many languages. It is a mobile app which has been launched for farmers. What is the purpose? See, to provide agricultural machinery on rental basis to the farmers, especially small and marginal farmers who cannot afford to buy the high value machinery and equipment. It is for those poor farmers who cannot afford to buy high-end machineries. They're very, very expensive. So, to provide machinery, agricultural machinery on rental basis, this custom hiring service centers have been developed in the radius of 50 kilometers of 50 kilometers where the farmers are residing. Within the 50 kilometers where they are residing, there will be custom hiring services centers from where they can hire farm machinery which is very high end, which is very expensive, which they cannot afford. They will get this on rental basis. So this scheme has been introduced for farmers. This is a revolution in the field of agriculture. Okay. Next is first mobile science exhibition. CHA is important, it may come. Next is first mobile science exhibition. Yeah. Union Minister of State for Culture and Tourism, Mr. Prahlad Singh Patel, he flagged off a mobile science exhibition van in Leh, Ladakh. Don't go into the schemes of CHC. Don't go into that detail. If you want to go, you can check with Google. But this information is enough that what is CHC? This is to provide custom hiring services centers. This is to provide high-end machineries to poor farmers who cannot afford high-end farm machineries. These centers have been developed and these will be within 50 kilometers radius of every village where the farmers can easily reach. Youth have been appointed, the village youth, rural youth, they will be managing this, so there will be a generation of employment also. First mobile service science exhibition, Union Minister of State for Culture and Tourism, Prahlad Singh Patel flagged up a mobile science exhibition van in Leh, the first such vehicle in the region, which will hold lectures and sky observation sessions for school students among other programs. So first in Leh, this is its first type of mobile science exhibition van, first of its type in Leh. Right? The Mobile Science Exhibition program was originally launched on Mobile Science Museum in 1965 with the mission, if people cannot visit the museum, let the museum visit the people at their doorsteps. The Culture Minister will launch 25 mobile science exhibition buses across the country. Already it had a total of 23 science exhibition vans. This year 24 more vans will be introduced. Okay. The first mobile science exhibition van was introduced in Leh. You have to remember this. Now there are sample questions are given at the end of every chapter. These types of questions only will come. You can go through them. There's not a big deal with the questions. What type of questions they have given you the samples. Please look at that. Go through this book. I think this is enough. What you have to do to update yourself on daily basis regarding these topics. That will be enough. Okay, last time we did Supreme Court and its decisions. Last time we did Supreme Court and its decisions. Remember? Yes. So, can you tell me which is the latest decision which was very, very controversial by Supreme Court? What case was that? Ram Mandir and yes, good. Nirbhaya verdict. Very good. Very good. I like it. Nirbhaya verdict. Very, very controversial. One was Ram Mandir, then it was Nirbhaya's case. Please remember that. These are two major decisions which Supreme Court gave. They were very, very controversial. Right? Ram Mandir was there for the past 70 years. No decision was being made. So nobody could make it actually. So CAA, nothing has been finalized. CAA, nothing has been finalized now. Nirbhaya's triple talaq, yes, that was also there, and Ram Mandir case. Please remember that. May or may not come. Now, please come to political affairs. It's page number 59. Nirbhaya's case was, it had been pending for the past 7 years, as everybody knows. See, the decision was made. The four of those accused were hanged. Next was the Raman. Controversial cases, I said. Please come to page number 59. Have you arrived at? Have you opened? We'll take the communication part after. Next lecture would be the last on current affairs. After that, we'll be taking the communication part. Just focus on what we are doing. Have you opened page number 59? Okay, good. Here, this is political. The other political affairs. What you have to remember, this is Union Council of Ministers as compiled on February 4, 2020. What all portfolios Prime Minister is holding? What all portfolios Prime Minister is holding? You have to remember these portfolios or the ministry. He is he's the Prime Minister first of all. He is also in charge of Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions, Department of Atomic Energy, Department of Space, all important policy issues and all other portfolios not allocated to any other ministers. You have to remember Prime Minister's portfolio, what all ministries he is holding. Second is this name of cabinet ministers. You please remember that. That is enough. You don't go for the state and all. If you can remember, that's very well. Very good. If you can't, then union minister, cabinet ministers, that's a list. And among this, from that also, the minister for finance and corporate affairs, the most important for you. Ministry and minister that under whose jurisdiction ICSI comes. That is very, very important. Prime Minister's portfolio, then our Defense Minister, Home Minister, our Minister for Roads, then Minister for Finance and Minister of Corporate Affairs, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman. I would suggest you to please remember all the cabinet ministers' name, Prime Minister's portfolios, and your own Ministry of Corporate Affairs and Finance, that is Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman. Remember cabinet ministers only. If you can remember the Minister of State also, that's up to you. Right? Now, come to page number 63. Come to page number 63. Appointment of new governors. Have you opened page 63? Okay. Appointment of new governors. Now, Union government appointed 5 new governors on September 1, 2019. Name of the governors and the states. You have to remember this. Minister of States, if you can remember, that's very nice of you. If you can't, you can remember the names of cabinet ministers. That would be enough for you and the portfolios held by Prime Minister. The important ones I have told you, the portfolios of Prime Minister are major. That one is Finance Ministry, Corporate Ministry, then road transport minister, then defense, home, they are important. Health minister, which is too much in news these days, health minister, and he has been appointed by World Health Organization also. Yeah. Okay. Then you have to remember the names of the new governors. Which are the states? This is governor for Telangana, Rajasthan, Himachal Pradesh, Kerala, and Maharashtra. Just remember the names of governors. Next is committees and appointments. Committees and appointments, page number 64. First is Constitution of Committee to Review Defense Procurement Procedure. Committee of Committee to Review Defense Procurement Procedure. For defense, what will be the procurement, buying procedure? Procure karna is to buy. The Defense Ministry has approved setting up of a committee to review Defense Procurement Procedure DPP. Defense Ministry has approved setting up of a committee for Defense Procurement Procedure. What will be of procurement for defense people? Defense Ministry has approved setting up of a committee to review that. What will be the procedure of procurement for defense? The aim of the committee is to speed up procurement and incorporate suitable changes in order to strengthen Make in India initiative. Committee was set up. This was to set up to review the speeding up of procurement and incorporate suitable changes in order to strengthen center's Make in India initiative. It will review Defense DPP 2016 and Defense Procurement Manual DPM 2019. Now, what is important for you to remember that to review this defense procurement procedure, committee was set up to see the speeding up of procurement and incorporate suitable changes in order to strengthen center's Make in India initiative. For that, this committee was being appointed. Just give reading to this. Second is committee report on CSR. This is important. CSR, it's what CSR is. You know the full form CSR, it is important. CSR is corporate social responsibility. Yes, good. Corporate social responsibility. Good, good. You know that. How this concept came into came into existence. Yes, corporate social responsibility. Company, an organization or a company, whatever you call is, when they are incorporated, when they come into existence, everybody knows that they work for society only. Whatever they are manufacturing or producing, or if they are providing services, they are doing for society only. Right? Do you agree? They work for society only. Yes. Now, what they are doing, they are manufacturing, producing, or providing services, and in return of that, they are getting money, right? That is the system. Society will buy from them, they will produce, manufacture, society will buy from them. So there is a give and take relationship. Now, Does the responsibility of corporate ends here? Does the responsibility of corporates end here? It is not only the give and take relationship that you will pay for my products. That is, it is just not the relationship. Now, corporates which are earning money, which are earning profits from the society, they have some social responsibilities also. Since they are earning profits in abundance, right? So they have some responsibility for the weaker section of the society also. They have to return to the society what they have taken from society. They have to return also. That is the proper give and take relationship. So in 2014, initially when this concept was started in US, I believe, uh, it was considered as the philanthropy, as donation. So this concept, this is not a donation of philanthropy. In 2014, India became first country to legally mandate CSR. In 2014, India became the first country to legally mandate CSR, corporate social responsibility. It was legalized. So what was the concept? That companies, the organizations, they have to take out 2% of average net profits for the past 3 consecutive years. If they have earned profit for the past 3 consecutive years, then they have to take out 2% of average net profit for the purpose of CSR, for corporate social responsibilities. Right? It is 2% of average net profit earned consecutive past 3 years. Now, what other conditions? What are the other conditions for the companies? That the companies who have to take out this 2% of average net profit, they should have a net worth of 500 crore or more. They should have net worth of 500 crore or more. They should have a turnover of 1000 crore or more. Their net profit should be 5 crore or more. These are the conditions. These are the companies, type of companies which have to take up 2% of average net profits earned consecutively for past 3 years for the purpose of corporate social responsibilities. Now, what are the companies which are like what social responsibilities they can contribute towards? Page number is 64. What type of contributions they can do? They generally do for the underprivileged people, like they can open up the hospitals, like Tata has done so much for this, towards this opening of hospitals, like opening of schools for poor people, and ONGC has done a lot of work for underprivileged people. These type of contributions for underprivileged sections of the society, they can spend this 2% amount on towards that. The Tata tops the list. Tata's name is always there on the top of the list for such type of contributions. Then there's Infosys. Then there is Bharat Petroleum. Then there is Vedanta, Mahindra and Mahindra, ITC. Means these are the companies which top the list while making the contribution towards CSR, corporate social responsibilities. No, you don't have to remember the names. I'm just telling you for your information. Companies to which these CSR is applicable is companies having net worth of 500 crores or more. They should have turnover of 1000 crore or more, and their net profit should be 5 crores or more. Okay, for those companies, they have to take out 2% of average net profit past 3 years, and they will be spending it towards corporate social responsibility. This is the responsibility of corporates to upgrade society, uplift society also. Net worth is 500 crores, turnover is 1000 crores. Okay. Point. This is the background of CSR. The point which we have to discuss is the committee chaired by Mr. Indrajit Srinivas, Secretary Ministry of Corporate Affairs, submitted its recommendation to Honorable Union Minister of Finance, Corporate Affairs on corporate social responsibility. That the Secretary Ministry of Corporate Affairs, he submitted a report to Minister of Corporate Affairs about what the main recommend. They suggested some recommendations. What was the recommendations? This was making CSR expenditure tax deductible. That to make CSR expenditure tax deductible. What do you mean by tax deductible? That this is on every income, corporates pay the tax, right? You know, they have to pay tax on every income. So what was the recommendation on this income, 2% of net profit which they are taking out for CSR? No tax should be deducted. Okay, no tax should be deducted on this income. So this was the recommendation, that this should be the CSR expenditure tax deductible, making this tax deductible. Provision for carrying forward the unspent balance for a period of 3 to 5 years. If they cannot spend the amount in a particular year in which they were obliged to spend, if they could not spend that amount in that particular year, they can carry forward this amount to next 3 to 5 years. Aligning Schedule 7 with the SDGs by adopting SDG plan framework, which should additionally include, yes, where the additionally this amount, where this amount can be spent. This can be spent on sports promotion, senior citizen welfare, welfare of differently abled person, disaster management, heritage protection. Balancing local area preferences and national priorities include introducing impact assessment studies, CSR, obligation 5 crore or more, and registration of implementation agencies on NCA portal. So what were the, I have told you the background of CSR, what all companies need to do CSR. What were the recommendation in the committee report on CSR? The Secretary of Ministry of Corporate Affairs, he gave some recommendations to Union Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs. The main recommendations were to making CSR tax deductible. MCA is Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Making it tax deductible. No tax should be no tax should be deducted on this income. You know, on every income we have to pay the tax. Corporates too have to pay the tax. So this profit, this amount of profit, 2% should not be considered as income. No tax should be deducted on that 2% of profit they have to spend on CSR. Right? So recommendation was to make CSR expenditure tax deductible, and there should be provision to carry forward this CSR amount for 3 to 5 years if remain unspent. If this amount is not spent in a particular year, then it should be carried forward to next 3 to 5 years. That they can spend this amount in next 3 to 5 years. This was the recommendation. Besides, to include certain other programs or certain other projects under CSR where this amount can be spent. That was the sports promotion, for senior citizen welfare, the welfare of differently abled people, disaster management. Like disaster management, you know what act has been imposed in India after 19. MCA is Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Do you know what act has been imposed after COVID-19? Very good. Disaster Management Act. You should know that. Question may come. This is this type of updates on daily basis. You need to know. What act has been imposed or invoked in India after COVID-19? It's Disaster Management Act. This lockdown was imposed under Disaster Management Act. Right? So these were the recommendations made on CSR. This high-powered committee of chief ministers constituted for transformation for Indian agriculture. There was a committee of chief ministers for transformation of agriculture and just give a reading to this. That government constituted a high-powered committee of chief ministers for transformation of agriculture and raising farmers' income. There was a committee of chief ministers for on the matters of agriculture and raising farmers' income. That is okay. CSR is important for you. Next is constitution of three-member committee to look into assets liabilities of J&K. Constitution of a three-member committee was formed to look into the assets liabilities of J&K. There was a three-member panel formed by Union government to oversee implementation of bifurcation of J&K into two UTs. आपको मालूम है? Do you know J&K has been bifurcated into two UTs? First is J&K and second UT is Ladakh. Okay, so three-member by Union government to oversee implementation and bifurcation of J&K into two UTs, oversee distribution of assets and liabilities between J&K and Ladakh. There are two UTs now. J&K has been bifurcated into two, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. Both are the UTs. Please remember that. Section 370 was also removed from J&K. That was also in 2019 a major happening or the event. Second, come to page number 65. 11th BJP national president. You see, are very minor informations, just one-liners. Mr. JP Nadda, he became 11th national president of Bharatiya Janata Party on January 2020. Right? This is just one-liners. You have to see. Don't go into too much details. Second is Michael Debrata, Deputy Governor of RBI. Now, who is the Governor of RBI? Who is the Deputy Governor of RBI? You have to remember these names. Next is Indian Advocate Harish Salve, appointed as Queen's Counsel. Mr. Indian Advocate Harish Salve, he was appointed as Queen's Counsel. Senior Indian Advocate Harish Salve has been appointed as Queen's Counsel for the Court of England and Wales. It was a big achievement for an Indian. Right, so he was appointed as Queen's Counsel for the Courts of England and Wales. Just remember the name, Mr. Harish Salve. He was appointed counsel in the Court of England and Wales. March 16, 2020. He was appointed. He took the position on March 16, 2020. It's again Queen's Counsel. See, just the names are different. Next, come to page number 66. 66. It's appointment of 4 new Supreme Court judges. Page number 66, appointment of 4 new Supreme Court judges. That day also I had told you 4 new judges have been added to Supreme Court. Now the total number of Supreme Court judges is 34. Please remember that. Who is CJI? You have to remember the name. Who is CJI? Right? Written here that total strength has been increased to 34 from 31. Right? If 4 have been added, so it should have been 30 actually. That's how the total comes to 34. So just remember the total number of 4 judges have Supreme Court. Now total number is 34. That is in Next is appointment of Principal Secretary to Prime Minister. Next is appointment of Principal Secretary to Prime Minister. Now Mr. P.K. Mishra is the Principal Secretary to Prime Minister. Just remember this name. That is enough for you. P.K. Mishra has been appointed. Yeah, he is the Principal Secretary to Prime Minister. Next is Rajiv Gauba, appointed as next Cabinet Secretary. Has been appointed as new Cabinet Secretary for tenure of 2 years. Mr. Rajiv Gauba has been appointed as new Cabinet Secretary for 2 years. Right? Just remember the name. Who is the new Cabinet Secretary? Mr. Rajiv Gauba. Who is Principal Secretary to Prime Minister? He is Mr. P.K. Mishra. Next is Arvind Krishna, new CEO of IBM. IBM, you know, full form of IBM. It's International Business Machines. It's a big famous company, IBM. Now, Arvind Krishna, yes, Arvind Krishna, Indian origin Arvind Krishna has been appointed as Chief Executive Officer of IBM, replacing Virginia's Ginny Rometty. He will take over responsibilities of CEO from April. Mr. Arvind Krishna, new CEO of IBM. Just remember their names. Do not go into too much details. Yes. Then there are some government initiatives or schemes. Page number 67. There are some government initiatives or schemes. Have you guys started studying? Can I take, can I ask you some questions? Yes, okay. We have been reading this continuously. And may I know some recent updates or the news? If you guys are watching news or reading newspapers, can you share some recent news on the world? Yes, please. Atmanirbhar Bharat, yes. Eastern Summit, okay. LSE conflict rises, very good. Yes. Vocal for local, yeah, it's a drive. It's a slogan. You must remember vocal for local. Yes, elephant killed. Yes. What name has been given to the mission of that elephant? Hmm? Nike. Very good. Okay. George Floyd, yes. Nisarg, yeah. New Zealand is corona free now. Yes, one of the biggest news. Yeah. Earthquake in Karnataka. Yes, you must remember the name also of that Amphan that had hit Bangladesh and Orissa. Then Nisarg on the coastal areas of Gujarat and Maharashtra. Yes. Yeah. Nisarg. India corona. Yes. Nisarg cyclone. Yes. Good. You guys are quite updated. I'm really impressed. Yeah. Doctor's attack. Yes. Cyclone in Maharashtra. Geo investments. Fun. Yeah. 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 Good. Good. Yep. Yes. India China controversy. Yes. Geomart. Yep. Good. 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 This is for the first time. So much domestic violence is going on. So it's like a domestic war that has been going on in US. This is for the first time. Yes, in America. What was the name of the movement which the blacks were? What was the name of the movement the blacks were undertaking in US? Name of the movement. Yeah, they had the placards in their hands, and what was written on that? I can't breathe. Yes, right. I can't breathe. That was the movement they started. I can't breathe. Yep. Yes. This was for the first time the White House. It uh, was under total blackout. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Good. Life matter. Everybody's life matter. Mhm. And what was the name of? Did I ask you? What was the name of that elephant which was killed in Kerala? Vinaiki. Yes. Good. Vinaiki. That shows that you guys are quite, you are watching the TV or you are reading the newspaper. Please download Beyond channel WION or BBC. Please do watch BBC or Beyond. Both are good channels. You can get a lot of information what's going around the world from these two channels. For domestic, I would recommend Z. You watch Z or you download TOI, Times of India or Economic Times. That is enough. Yeah. Download Times of India, download Economic Times. Do not go into too much depth. The headlines are enough for you. If there is any change regarding these topics which we are reading, you will immediately catch that topic and you can go through what change has been occurred. Change has taken place. Don't worry. This paper would come, I guess. Uh, this should come from this book only, paper. You please go to the website of ICSI, download PDF from there. It's available for everybody over there. I have a hard copy of the same thing. I cannot share the screen. I'm MCQs, all samples have been given there. Don't worry, all guys, you all are very, very intelligent. Crack the exam, don't worry. Any other question? Updated, please. I just wanted to check whether you guys are in touch with the current news. You are too much updated. I like this. You will definitely crack the exam. Don't worry. Has he got coronavirus, Mr. Kejriwal? Has it been confirmed? No. Hmm. Oh, he has been quarantined. Okay. Guys, take care of yourself. Stay safe. Stay at home. Study hard. Crack the exam. You guys are going to be the future CS corporate governors. Okay. Yes, any other question? We'll be finishing this current affairs in the next lecture, and after that we'll start communication part. Yeah. See, MCQs are there. That's why I have kept 10 minutes for your queries. MCQs are given, samples are given in this booklet only. This is the current affair PDF. I have taken the printout, the hard copy of the same, which is lying there on. Please go and check the website. Go to CSEET current affairs syllabus. It will appear on the screen. Please download it. Please take the PDF. Everything is given here, which I'm teaching you. Sample questions are being given there. Yes, this book is enough. Plus, in addition, I have been repeating again and again this book plus daily updates. What is going around the world? So much is, so many changes are taking place around the world. Please keep yourself updated. Watch news. For world news, you can watch Beyond channel or the BBC channel. That is enough for you. And you guys, you already know a lot. I can see that. You know a lot. Don't worry, you'll crack the exam. So next lecture would be last on current affairs. And after that, we'll start communication part, which includes listening, oral and written communication. Okay, there I'll try to give you the activities and we'll have a interactive session on that also. Okay, any other question? Any other question you have? It's ultimately it's you who has to study. It's ultimately you. We can just give you the basic information about the subject. Finally, you who have to study, you have to keep yourself updated. Keep watching news, keep reading newspapers, and get the official information from the website, from the official blogs, from the official blogs. Okay. Yes, Javed Akhtar, First Indian. When we'll come to the communication part, we'll definitely discuss all your queries relating to Viva or mock test also. Exactly what we are doing, please focus on that. That is very, very important. Okay, if yeah, CSR, yeah. Any queries on CSR? Corporate social responsibility. Any queries on that? Yes. Placement person, what? CSR is corporate social responsibility. It is the responsibility of a corporates or the companies to uplift the society in which they are living, because it's the society who is giving it all the profits by buying their products. This happens, right? Company makes or manufactures the products and society buys. They are just two parties in the economic environment. First is firm and second is household. Firm produces, household buys. So they cannot live without each other, right? So it's not this this is not just not the relationship which should be there. So CSR has been introduced. Initially, it was like a philanthropy, daan dena, donations karna for the society. So in 2014, company law made it, or law made it legal, mandatory for all the corporates with certain conditions. Corporate having 500 crores as net worth, 1000 crore as their turnover, and 5 crores as their net profit. If these conditions are satisfied, then that company has to take out 2% of their average net profits for the purpose of corporate social responsibility. Right? What they have to do with this amount? They have to spend on welfare of the society, for uplifting the society. They have to spend this amount. Right? So regarding this, some recommendations were made by Ministry of Corporate Affairs that this is the income which they have to distribute for society, for the welfare of society. This is the income, profit है ना उनका ये. So otherwise profit would have become taxable. It is an income for the corporate that is taxable. So recommendation was made that do not include this amount in the taxable income. Otherwise, amount of tax that will increase, which will have to be paid by the corporates. Right? This is CSR. This would, and some they said if it is this amount is unspent. Yes, this is legal in India. If this amount is unspent during that year, you can carry forward to next 3 to 5 years. You can spend in next 3 to 5 years. That was the recommendation made. In addition to that, certain other activities also were included, that you can spend it towards sports promotion for disabled people, for senior citizen people, and things like that. Okay, now it's time we have to wind up. So we'll meet day after tomorrow. Please keep studying, keep healthy, safe. We'll meet day after tomorrow. Bye. See you. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.